Having a color analysis can easily turn into a Chinese buffet kind of moment. You walk into the restaurant and everything looks so good and smells so yummy. So you take some noodles and some egg rolls and some egg drop soup and on and on and on. And that works great at a restaurant. Unfortunately, that approach does not work as well when it comes to our closet and our color analysis. Because buying one of every shade just because it looks great on you can turn our closet into a great big hodgepodge. Too many colors, too few things that can actually pair together, and getting dressed didn't actually get any easier than before you had the service done. And often then we toss the color analysis aside and never look at it again. And we're left thinking, well, that was a total waste of $500 or how much you invested in it. Does any of that sound familiar? Then this video is for you because you and I are going to cover the exact steps I walk through with one-on-one clients to turn their palette into an actual wardrobe plan. So it's a tool to make life easier. And getting dressed gets faster and way more fun. I'm Angela, your petite style coach, and when you're ready, let's dive in. If you happen to have your color palette handy, please feel free to either put me on pause or grab your phone and pull it up, whatever's easiest. But that way you and I can walk through the actual steps side by side. Now, the other thing I wanted to say before we get into this scenario is that I chose summer because it is summer, but it doesn't matter. The steps that we're going to talk about translate beautifully no matter what season that you ended up being. Okay. So now most palettes come between 25 and 35 different shades, which you can see why that would need to narrow those down quite a bit. So the very first thing that you're going to want to do is cross off the colors that you will never, ever wear. And I know there are some because there always are. So in this particular example, we're going to say we will never wear the cobalt blue. So we're going to get rid of it. And we also are not a big fan of pastel yellow. So we're going to mark that off. And please feel free. If you say, you know what, there's 4 or 5 colors that I don't love, go ahead, mark them all off. There's no limit in this step. Number 2, what we're going to do is we're going to choose our neutrals. And of course, nothing is permanent, nothing is set in stone, but you do want to think about the neutrals are really going to be the basis of your capsule wardrobe. So try not to choose too many. 3 is typically a very sweet spot where you have a lot of mixing and matching opportunities, and it keeps our closet very focused. So in this case, we're going to choose the off-white, the navy, and the charcoal as our 3 neutral shades. Now, if you're not a summer or a variation of summer, then you may or may not be aware, black is not a recommended color in this palette, so that's why it's not an option. After you have your neutrals locked down, you're going to choose your accent colors. Now, the thing that you want to think, well, there's 2 things that you want to think about before choosing your accents. Number 1 is, let's be honest, what's available in the stores right now. If you say, I love pastel violet, like that is my color, and you go to stores and literally no one is offering anything in that color, it's probably not helpful. The second thing is it kind of depends on I don't want to say the maturity of your closet, but where you're at in the journey. If you are just starting to really get a cohesive plan on how to create a closet that you love, I would stick more to the 3 accent color range. While if it's more advanced and you've been doing this for a few seasons in a row, you could, choose 4, 5, or 6 accent colors without too much of a problem. So now we're going to stick to 3 accent colors. And we're going to choose the soft rose because it's so popular this season. It'll be an easy accent color to find. The second one is sea green. And then the third is periwinkle. Now, you can give this some thought because this is something that, it's going to be the pop of color every single day when you get dressed. So there's no need to rush. Now, once you have your preferred color palette narrowed down to 5 to 10 colors, it's time to head to our closet, because we always want to start out with what we already own and what we already love. Now, if you've ever heard me talk about closet organization or closet purging before, then you know I'm not a huge fan of tackling the entire closet all at once. To be quite honest, it's too stressful. It's too big of a monster to tackle all in one day. And not to mention, it just sucks the fun out of it, of the whole process. So pick one specific category for the day and focus on that and only that one. Now, in this scenario, we're going to be focusing on career wear. So the first category will be tops, blouses, and blazers. Okay, so here are our 5 blouses. Well, 4 blouses and 1 blazer. And you'll notice, with the exception of the one in the center, they all fall into the recommended color palette for a summer. Now, granted, the bright pink short sleeve blouse isn't that soft rose that she was shooting for, but it's still flattering, so there's no reason to toss it out. Now, the one that is the one in the middle, the black sleeveless shell. Now, do we have to tear it off the hanger and throw it into the burn pile? Not in this situation, and here's why. Because number one, it's a layering piece. So chances are it's worn underneath a sweater or a blazer at work. Now, the black is going to be super harsh against a summer skin tone. However, if we throw on that sweater or that blazer and it's in one of our color palette shades, it's going to do a lot to break it up and to make the outfit a lot more flattering. So just know that the goal isn't to go into the closet and purge as much as possible. It's to really have kind of almost an unemotional mindset about it and say, hey, listen, it's not awesome. Do I need to wear it next week? If so, I'll put it on my replacement list and move on. The one caveat to that are the colors to avoid. Now, every color analysis has the shades that it's best to not wear near our face. In that case, and especially with tops, if you have some tops that fall into that colors to avoid category, I would definitely look to what can I wear instead so that I can purge it as fast as possible, or what can I wear with it, just like we did with the black sleeveless shell. Okay, so a week goes by and now we're ready to tackle pants and skirts. All right, same situation. She has 3 pants and 2 skirts. And in this case, there's actually 3 of them that fall outside the best colors. However, with pants, with bottoms, we have so much more flexibility for the simple fact that they're not right up near our face. So you can take a much more liberal approach when it comes to what to keep and what to purge, especially when you have something that will go with it, that the top is going to flatter your complexion. All right. After you do that, then that's when you want to move on to the extras. So the scarves, the shoes, the handbags, the outerwear, all of that. But just know, one category at a time will give you the best result. All right. Now it's time to create your capsule. Just like everything else, capsule wardrobes came out and they were, and I can't even remember how many they were. I feel like back in the day, they were like 35 pieces or something. And everybody has come out with their specific take on what the best capsule is. There's a couple, though, that definitely bubble up to the top as being the most popular. And it's totally up to you which one you choose. The first one is the 555 capsule. And that is 5 tops and blouses, 5 bottoms, and then 5 pieces of outerwear. Now, for those of you that live in an area where there is one climate, the 5 pieces of outerwear you can treat very flexibly. Yes, that's a word. Okay, so I did take our sample closet from before and showed you how many options we have when we really only have 5 tops and 5 bottoms. You can see that each piece definitely carries its weight and earns its space in your closet. Here are 5 outfits, and then we actually came up with 10 total outfits from those 5 and 5. The second capsule philosophy that people have is 33-3. And that is 33 pieces that you wear for 3 months. But the 33-3 is great for people who live in very seasonal climates and are having to switch out your wardrobe. Now, the one thing I'll say about the 33 is that they're counting everything, like outerwear, yes, shoes, yes, and all of that. I think these are great places to start. And it goes back to where are you at with your style journey? If rules help, if parameters help you accomplish your style goals, then absolutely give them a try. But please, style and fashion should be fun. Be flexible and give yourself some grace if you want to buy something outside your color palette or have, 40 pieces that you wear for 3 months or whatever. Okay. Now, we're going to talk about starting a list. And before you start a list, it's incredibly important that you know the styles and the silhouettes that look best on you. So if you haven't already, now is a great time to hop on over and take the Petite Body Shape Quiz. Because inside of that, we talk about the styles of tops and dresses and pants and skirts that will flatter your shape best. And since this is an opportunity for us to add some new pieces to our closet, we definitely want to make sure that we're picking the best choices. All right. So, which leads us right into start your list. Let's go back to our sample closet. Okay. So we notice she has one blazer and this is her career wardrobe. So chances are she needs some sort of additional layering piece. So maybe it's a charcoal blazer or a navy blazer, something that goes with the other bottoms that she already has. The other thing is she has no dresses. Now, if that was intentional, and I absolutely have clients who are like, nope, don't like to show my legs like that. I don't wear dresses. Okay, fine. If it's intentional, great. If it's just because it's never been a priority before, then consider it. Because there is nothing like a navy or charcoal sheath for flexibility. The other thing is that you don't have to pair it with anything. I mean, you can throw a blazer over top of it, but it's not like you have to find a blouse. Otherwise, you're going to be topless or, find a pair of pants to go with that top. So there's such an easy piece. So if you don't have any dresses and you're not opposed to them, I would definitely put those on your list. And after you have your list and you're as specific as possible with the style and with the shade, just know it's not a race. Because what so many times happens is that we feel all this pressure, and especially you high achievers, you feel that pressure to mark off your to-do list and say, okay, done, moving on. And we panic shop and we make bad choices. And goodness knows, not one of us needs one more thing in our closet that we don't love to wear. So be really picky about it. All right, my dear, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please share the video with any of your short friends who will benefit from the steps that we talked about. And be sure to like the channel so you never miss out on a petite style tip. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.